Shalom, you guys. Good evening. We are getting ready to do maybe a few readings. I'm not sure which one I want to go with. I know I'm feeling like some angel therapy. So I think I'm going to do the angel therapy cards and the crystal mandala energy cards. I'm going to start with the crystal energy and end with the angel therapy. And I may clarify using a deck from the Zodiac. We shall see. So let's begin. I hope everyone has had a wonderful day. Alrighty. These cards are still pretty much new. Plus, I suck at shuffling anyway. And one more time before I cut them. Alrighty. So we are going to begin. I'm not really sure how many cards. So when I'm not sure, I just ask the Most High to have His way, which I do that anyway, every reading. But sometimes if I've seen different numbers, I'll be like, okay, we're going to pull this amount of numbers because I may have seen them throughout the day. But I didn't really see too much of anything today. So we're definitely going to have to depend. All right, Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this opportunity. I ask that you would just have your way in this meeting tonight and give us the information that we need to know. What energy can we embody? What energy can we embody, Heavenly Father, for the next couple of weeks? Alright, what energies do you want us to focus on? Okay. We're going to pick everything up that flew out, and we're going to stop here. Okay. All right. So with the last three, I'm not entirely sure which ones came out first, but I just set them out. Um, but the first two I do know which came out first. So let me get the booklet real quick. For those who may not know, this is a new set for me. And I definitely like reading from the book for these because they have such beautiful messages. Anywho, we've got 5 cards. And the first card that came out was integrity. And the question was, what energy can we embody? So integrity was the first card that flew out. I'm gonna say all the cards that came out and then I'll go and read them. The next card that came out was nourishment. Again, with these last three, not sure which ones actually came out first and what order, but here's the next one is higher will. The next card is sensitivity. Sensitivity. And the last card is sacred ecosystem. So now let's hop right in. Number 47 in the deck is the first card that we'll go to. The goddess Rhiannon in Amazite. It says, the more choice and freedom you have, the more integrity you will need. The more you feel aware of and compassionate towards the needs of, the more you feel aware of and compassionate towards the needs of others, the more integrity you will need. Integrity is your anchor to self. It is authenticity in expression. You experience your integrity as a feeling of rightness. When you are in alignment with yourself and a feeling of something being not quite right, uncomfortable, or even anxiety or anger inducing, when you are being urged to break with your integrity to make another person comfortable. You know what you need to do, or not do for that matter. And when you step away from that, not honoring yourself, you will experience psychological, emotional, or even physical discomfort. You will not feel good about the choices you are making. And that is your sign that you have integrity and that it is calling you back to your truth. Integrity is a sign of character developed over time. It exists when a person cares enough about their words and actions, their intentions, and the impact of their life on others that they are willing to make the sometimes tough calls and not always take the path that seems easiest. Integrity doesn't make life harder. However, it actually makes it more enjoyable. Every time you exercise your integrity in your choices, you'll feel good about yourself. And eventually, even if your mind goes into fear at saying no, for example, worrying that you've upset someone or missed out on an amazing opportunity that just didn't feel right no matter how many ways you tried to make it work, the good feeling you get from being in integrity will grow stronger. It will develop to the point where you cannot tolerate not being in integrity. Nothing will be worth it. The contemporary expression for this is that you won't be willing to sell out or sell your soul to get something or someone. So I'm going to stop right there. It's beautiful that this came out first. I feel like this could be what's going on internally for some of us. I know that this resonates with myself. We could be thinking about integrity. We could be thinking about some things, some decisions that we made, or some things that we are allowing to happen to us. And we could be wondering if it's like if it was the right choice for us. Maybe we could be actually feeling that maybe it wasn't. And now we're being called to our integrity. Now we are being called back to, oh y'all, something was on my neck. But anyway, now we're being called to go back to what we know is right for us personally. So I think that this has been on some people's minds. I know I wouldn't say that we would think of the word integrity, but we've been having to think about what's right for us. We've been having to think about what's right for us. For some, it's because we've been involved in relationships. We've been involved in relationships or friendships or family ties, or maybe even with work. And maybe we've been asked to do some things that we don't feel are necessarily right. And especially not right for us and whatever our personal convictions are. So I feel like this oracle is coming to remind us that maybe if we are, dishonoring ourselves in whatever way that can apply, be it that you're not doing something that you really want to do, or be it that you're doing things that you don't really want to do. Whatever the case may be, and wherever you may fall, and however this may resonate with you, this oracle is a reminder that your integrity, and what's right for you is worth pursuing. It's worth fighting for, to be honest, because if not, if not, you will experience, some of us may already be experiencing psychological effects of not operating in our own integrity. To me, that could be resentment. That could be a low sense of self-worth at this point, especially in relationships. Like if somebody is, steady challenging you on things that you feel to be right, and you feel that maybe you have conceded to something, or maybe someone's challenging you to operate in a way that they think is right, but it's not right for you. Not that it's not right altogether, but it's just something that's not right for you. And they're asking that you agree with them or something like that. And, because you care about them, maybe you have gone with it, but it's not working for you. It's not working for you. And even though you went along with it, you are miserable, or you're at least going back and forth with yourself about it. To me, this oracle is coming up to call us back to what is right for us. Boom. I'm going to shut up now on that. The next card, Nourishment, it is number 10 in the deck. What I can remember this card referred to was the things that we put in our body, our mind, and our spirits. Like a lot of us are being called to pay more attention to what we're feeding ourselves, be it through our thoughts, and also definitely through what we're eating, drinking, what we're ingesting. This is an oracle to me to be very mindful of what we're doing to ourselves in every sense of the word. Again, I know that for some of us, we've been knowing that we're supposed to eat better, eat healthier, start changing our diet. Many of us know that we're spiritual beings, and we know that our bodies are temples. And also we know that depending on what we eat can make us more receptive to the messages from spirit. And if we didn't know that, spirit is putting this energy over you so that you can begin to start really taking that serious, because that is a major step. And I'm speaking to myself, please understand this. Us preparing our temple by what we eat and what we drink and what we watch, what we see, what we think. This is fundamental in our getting spiritually stronger. So I feel like with this coming up again, and in the place in this particular spread for me that it came up, I feel like this is what spirit is really calling a lot of us to. Pay attention to what you're feeding yourself, mind, body, and spirit. Higher will. Let's read this card. This is the first time I got it since I've had the deck. So that's number 20 in the deck. All right. So it says Ascended Master El Moria and Blue Star Sapphire. It says the divine is creative genius, the divine is creative genius at play. It understands how to ensure all organisms evolve where not even the tiniest or apparently most insignificant creature is forgotten, so that all needs are met at the perfect time and in the perfect way. And you are very much a part of that. Every wish, dream, desire, yearning, and vision you have is very much a part of that loving creative plan too. It is not possible for the human mind to grasp the workings of the divine mind in its microscopic attention to detail and macrocosmic vastness. It is possible, though, for the human mind to understand that the divine mind knows what it's doing, and that what it is doing is unconditionally loving for all creation, including you. In your life at present, higher will is at work. Of course, it is always in operation, but there are times when that may seem hard to believe. You may know intellectually that the universe loves you and is helping you always, while emotionally you may feel insecure, uncertain, or challenged by what is actually happening in your life and wish it was other than it is. Or you will basically wish that something else was happening. What is causing uncertainty in what is causing uncertainty in you will change in time as you grow through it. You will naturally assess increased understanding, acceptance, and even joyful appreciation of how incredibly creative and intelligent life is and how amazing your spiritual journey is too. Higher will does not wish for you to suffer. It wishes for you to grow and remember who you truly are. But sometimes that growth brings suffering because it can be difficult for the mind to let go of ideas and expectations and learn to believe that what is always a gift, even if we can't quite see how at the time. Sometimes higher will shall ask you that you cultivate patience. There is no point to rush ahead on your path, ready to speak, shine, share, and teach when those you are destined to assist are not ready for you yet. Your voice will be lost in the darkness. There is no love in that for anyone involved. Patience for a time will allow for the love that can grow to be given a chance to do so in the best conditions for that to happen. You are allowed not to enjoy the moment you are in. Perhaps patience is not one of the virtues of your more enthusiastic, future-oriented personality. You may feel constrained and not enjoy that very much, and this is absolutely fine. It might be more joyful if you could learn to love the building of the foundation as much as the successful completion of the task. So basically, I'm going to stop there. This is saying that whatever situation you may find yourself in, pretty much the Most High is still at work and guiding it all. And I believe that whatever it is, it's an uncomfortable place. So we are definitely tempted to be like, I want this to be over. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go through this. I shouldn't have to. And I feel like this oracle is pretty much encouraging us to just wait it out, allow things to run its course. Because in doing that, we are growing as spiritual beings, spiritual and physical beings. And not only that, but there is more attached to what's happening in our personal lives, even with other people who are connected to us. Even as far as the people whose lives your testimony and your story will be able to impact in an optimal way, is attached to this present moment. And if we rush through it, if we say, no, I'm giving up right now, if we say this is it right now, we could be forfeiting the powerful messages. And if we say that we want to go move forward, like what the booklet said, if we want to rush ahead and surge forward, then we could go to a people who are not really prepared to hear us and receive what's being said, and then pretty much the lessons that we've learned or what was supposed to happen was in vain. So even if you felt uncomfortable and you felt like you were really going through and struggling, all of that at that point seems to be pointless and in vain if the people who your testimony would help and encourage don't get the message because it came too soon and they were not ready. So this oracle is encouraging us to be patient with whatever state we may find ourselves in, and to actually allow everything to happen, and maybe even appreciate it. Appreciate what we're learning. Appreciate the lessons. Appreciate, maybe we need to reflect, on how we've changed, on how we've grown. And maybe that can assist us with the appreciation of the time and the place and the mindset that we are in right now. So that's that with that. Spirit is telling me to say that we should ask the Most High for something to see that we should be appreciative of in this present time. So some of us are in circumstances where we probably want to just run away from them or speed that process up so that we can get on to the end result of it, which we know will be better. And Spirit is saying, ask the Most High to show us what in the process and in the place that we are at this present moment can we be grateful for and appreciative of. All right. The next card was sensitivity. That is number 21 in the deck, which is beautiful. That is 20 and 21 right behind each other. Awesome sauce. So it says the world of energy is very real. Its effect on all people, even those that cannot consciously perceive it, is also very real. As you consciously perceive subtle energy, you more skillfully manage how you are affected by the energy of the world around you, the energy of spirit, and how you use and project your energy in the world. There are those, such as you, who understand this and want to see, know, and perceive these energetic realities. The universe loves you and knows that you do not want to be afraid to see the diverse and fascinating world of energy. So to increase your ability to do this, you will need to grow your sensitivity. With sensitivity, it is possible to sense, feel, and perceive subtle energies as if they were just as real, if not even more so, than the denser physical forms of your world, like the table and chairs in your home, for example. The desire to do this, to open up to perceive these worlds, comes from an impulse within your spirit to know reality and to understand the truth of existence beyond the physical form. And this is not something that has to be scary. Perceiving and understanding the world of energy can be very interesting, empowering, and exciting. Whatever the reason for your increased interest in the subtle worlds of energy, this oracle brings you a message that even if you don't really feel an urge to know the worlds of energy at a conscious level, your spirit does. And so the message of this oracle is brought to you too. There's a loving energy reaching for you now. If your sensitivity is already well developed, then you will be able to feel it as a sense of love in your heart. And if not, know that this higher energy loves you and is sending you a message. It wishes to confirm that it has been seeking to connect with you for some time. You might consider this energy to be part of your spiritual team of guides or simply a loving consciousness that wishes to flow through your channels to empower your healing abilities or bless you in some other way with healing and love. By using the following healing process, you will be able to consciously call upon this loving consciousness and invite it in the joy, love, and peace it will bring into your life. If you have been asking for confirmation of a message from a loved one that has crossed over, be it a person or an animal, then this oracle brings you that confirmation that this loved one is safe, held in divine love, and you can put your mind and heart to rest now. If you've been praying to your guidance and asking to know, hear, feel, and see their messages more clearly, then this oracle brings you the message that this has been heard by your guidance and is being answered in the affirmative now. And you will get your wish as your sensitivity increases. And finally, if you have been sensing that something is not quite right, that there is an energy of fear or darkness around you or another, and are worried that your imagination is working overtime, then do not despair. Because yes, you are sensitive to light, but also the presence of darkness. And there is no need to fear. How you choose to respond to it is what actually matters the most. Recognizing when you sense something that doesn't feel like unconditional love and choosing to use the following affirmation or any healing process will protect, empower, and ground you in the loving embrace of the Most High. There is no need for fear, but there is a need for a response, a firm but loving response. No, thank you. I choose love today. So move on, please. Is more than enough to keep you safely held in love. And in this way, you can see that your sensitivity does not make you vulnerable, but rather more aware. And if you respond to what you sense without second guessing yourself, then you are much more powerful too. So basically, this is just talking about us being open to spirit and being able to really sense when other energies are present and all that great stuff. I know for a fact that this resonated a great deal with me because I have literally personally been asking and desiring that my sensitivity be increased, because I do want to be able to hear messages um, and hear messages from the Most High and the ministering angels who are here to uplift us for the highest good. I want to be able to hear from them, so that I can do what I need to do, and also so that I can share whatever messages they give for the collective. So this resonates with me, but for someone else, like the booklet said, maybe you already are feeling this, maybe you're already going through this, and maybe it's kind of making you a little alarmed and scared. This is a reminder to say that you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to even second guess what you are feeling. You don't have to second guess yourself. And I notice that a lot of us tend to do that. Those who are really perceptive anyway, naturally, who are sensitive already, we tend to second guess our sensitivity. We tend to second guess what we hear, smell, sense, what we can touch, what we can, maybe some of us can even taste. We, for whatever reason, question that, even though it is active and it's working. So I feel like this card is for those who are second guessing themselves, a reminder that you shouldn't. Start trusting this sensitivity. Start trusting yourself, and it makes you powerful. And again, when you feel energies that you feel are unwelcoming or are dark and heavy, then you have the power to get rid of them. So I think that that's the reason why they're saying there's really no need to fear. So I'm going to stop there with that one. The last and final card is 26 in the deck, and it says Ascended Master Katumi and Moss Agate. So let's go check that out. All right. 26, 26. Okay. So there's an exquisite intelligence to divine design, a way for every aspect of every being to be made to serve the great plan of love. There's a story of a cracked pot which was used to carry water from the fountain to the master's table. And because of the crack, it leaked water along the pathway, arriving at the master's house only partially full, while another pot without a crack was able to hold its full complement of water for the household. The cracked pot wondered if it was not good if it was not a good enough pot. One day, the water carrier felt compassion for the cracked pot and asked why it seemed sad. When the water carrier realized that the pot felt that its flaws were bad, especially compared to the undamaged, perfect, oh Lord, perfect pot, he asked the cracked pot to look down at the path where it leaked water each day. And he said, "What do you see?" "I see flowers," replied the cracked pot. "Yes, that's right." The water carrier said, "Those flowers have sprouted along the path because you have been watering them. And each day they become an offering of beauty and grace upon the master's table." And the cracked pot felt very happy to hear this and realized that what it thought was imperfection was actually just a beautiful way to serve. This story teaches us something of the sacred ecosystem. In the sacred ecosystem, everything that is, even the things that we might initially write off as unwanted or even shameful, serves the greater good. When we simply are who we are, the ecosystem thrives. It doesn't always make sense, but it's true. This is why you never need to judge yourself or another. The divine is ingenious in its creative design of all beings, including you. All things serve. Could light be more beautiful or desired than what it is yearned for to break through the dark night? Okay, so all things have a sacred purpose. So if you have been feeling ostracized, abandoned, rejected, or criticized by a system in which you have tried to serve, then take heart. When the oracle of the sacred ecosystem comes to you, you are being notified that the universe is assisting you in finding your rightful place, your home upon the earth, for you to best fulfill your life's work. Now, that may mean that the system you have been doing your best to operate within has benefited you from your light and presence more than you realize. It may also mean that the time has come for you to shift from one system to another, that there is a new community in which you can serve. And this may involve physical relocation or just an energetic shift or both. It may result in new connections forming and old ones dissolving. And you may feel like you've stepped out of a story or a world into a completely different story or world. These are just signs that you are evolving into a new sacred ecosystem. So for me, I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to say that this is definitely to me talking about some changes that are getting ready to happen for some of us. We've been trying to find ourselves. We've been feeling that maybe we were kind of out of place wherever we may be. And we are right. We are right. But even though we've been feeling out of place because maybe we're not living up to certain people's expectations, or we're not living up maybe even to whatever we perceived we should be doing, or society, this oracle to me is saying, no, you're fine. You are fine the way that you are and who you are, and that this circumstance, whatever it includes, is helping you, whether we can see it or not. And also, we are being of assistance in it as well. Even if we may not initially feel that or see it, we are also being of assistance, though we may feel like we're not. Or maybe someone else has made us feel like we are not, but we really are. This is a lengthy video already, probably because I've had to read everything out of the book, but basically the message that I'm getting here is that a lot of us know what's right for us and what's not. And maybe we've been in a place where we've actually been feeling like where we are is not actually right for us. But it is all part of a larger plan for us to be more stronger, I think, in our integrity, for us to quickly realize when we're doing something that is not appropriate for us and not compromise. no matter who and what it is. Also, we are being reminded to nourish our mind, body, and spirit, both with the foods that we eat and the drinks and everything that we ingest for our physical bodies, as well as for our mind and our spirits. So also what was said here is that us taking care of our temple is going to help us be able to receive messages way more clearly and quicker. So this is important, especially since many of us have been in this energy of sensitivity, asking for clearer messages and correspondence. But anyway, pretty much the divine is what's orchestrating all of this. The divine is at work in it. Everything is happening according to the will of the Most High. Every part of it, even the uncomfortable parts. And it's all happening for us to be able to recognize energies and act accordingly, respond appropriately. And we may feel as though we aren't useful. We may be if we don't feel this way, someone else could be making us feel as though we are not as useful. But us simply being who we are designed to be, who we are created to be by the Most High, is useful. And we'll find that out in time. I feel like this is also a card of revelation. Like, it also says that you could be getting ready to relocate and move and everything like that. And you could be getting ready to move to another system or what have you. But ultimately, I feel as though this is really about maybe us realizing that everything truly is working together for our good, number one, and that we are useful. Even if other people can't see our use initially, we are important in the grand scheme of everything. We are. So never lose sight of that. And now I also believe that it's coming to a point where we could be being moved and relocated just so that the other person or people involved or whatever will be able to see just how significant our role in their life or their circumstances or their situation really was. And maybe they'll be able to appreciate the role that we played. And I also think that we need to appreciate ourselves. Like, we could be feeling bad or small or insignificant because of what somebody else expects of us. And maybe we can see that we're not living up to that. And we could be taking on this energy of, darn, I'm imperfect. And now because and we could be comparing ourselves to someone else. And this oracle to me is saying, do not do that, because there is something that you bring that is absolutely important. And nobody else can do it the way that you do. So focus on yourself. Focus on you becoming more and more and more of you. And it will serve. All right, so that's the end of this reading. I hope that it resonated with some of you all. I know it did for me personally. Yeah, peace, love, and shalom. Definitely forgot something. I forgot to mention the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck was original self. And I really feel like this ties in with this is technically the overall energy of the spread. And I feel like a lot of us are being on this journey because we are being called back to our original selves. And this original self is not some lower version of ourselves, but more so the higher and best version of ourselves. The one that is sure, the one that is compassionate, loving, that can light up a room, that is not concerned about the opinions of others, that knows who they are because of their own divine connection with the Most High. I'm not going to read this one, but I might come back and read it at a later time, but probably not. I really just think that I just explained it well enough. This is the overall energy of the reading that I just did. I forgot to do this at the beginning, so it's being done here at the end. But I think that this is what all of this energy right here, that we got to experience earlier, the integrity, understanding that we are important and that we're perfect the way that we are, and we bring something, nourishing our temples and getting our temples together so that we can hear better, doing what is right for us and not compromising ourselves, the higher will, and even the sensitivity. All of this is about getting us back to our original selves, because it's there that we are most powerful and most effective for the higher good of the collective and for ourselves. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and now end this video. Shalom.